Alright everybody, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. Now today, we have a lot of new things that have been released due to the road ahead. Talking about Galactic Legend Ahsoka, we're talking about Balin's Skull, a bunch of new Night Sister stuff, all of this new stuff coming from Ahsoka was released recently. And with all of that stuff, we have this image here. This is a little bit of a teaser for the requirements for the Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano. Now, I did make a video the other day talking about my predictions for what the Ahsoka requirements will be, and so far I'm pretty accurate, but soon I will not be right. Soon they kind of changed a few things that I was not expecting. We have a little bit more information as well about what the requirements could be, so we're going to be going over that and try to guess again what the requirements will be now that we have a little bit of a better idea of what we're looking at here right now that this is in the game. So but first, if you're interested, make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. I upload pretty much every day, or if I don't, I stream. So if you want to see me suffer like every day, you should subscribe, because I do that a lot on this channel. So drop a like and subscribe. Now let's get right into it. So another thing I should probably mention before we get started is, look at this. This is so cool. I finally have the PC client, which is awesome. Anyways, so the other day I made let me pull it up real quick. I made a few sheets, basically just trying to accurately guess what the requirements will be. This is what I said for some of the requirements. This is one option. This is another option for Ahsoka, depending on what they want to go for, and then the counterpart for Thrawn. So those are some options I gave. However, we kind of know now that there's a few things that have changed. Obviously, we have the first set of requirements. We have Ahsoka Tano and Snips. We already know Relic 9. Gas at Relic 8, Ventress at Relic 5, and Night Trooper, obviously, at Relic 7. So we knew Night Trooper. We knew Ahsoka before. They get confirmed Gas and Ventress, which I had accurately guessed before. However, when we look back at the sheet here, we see some of the dark side stuff has changed, and we also know that there is a ship now. So we gotta kind of take that into account when looking at the requirements here. So let's take a look at what we already know. This is the tier 1 requirements that we just went over, and then this is basically what I think is basically confirmed at this point. So when I say confirmed, maybe it's not like outwardly said, but it's kind of implied that there's not really another option. So we see in the fourth spot, or fourth group, Ahsoka's ship. Now, there's a ship in that picture, and that picture of Ahsoka's ship, it's not edited. All I did was take a picture of Ahsoka's ship and put it on that box, and it literally matched perfectly. And I know there's only two. I know that's what's going to happen, because there's only Anakin and Ahsoka's starfighters that look like that in the game, as far as I'm aware. And I don't think it's gonna be Anakin's. It doesn't make any sense to be Anakin's. So by default, I'm pretty sure that has to be Ahsoka's. I think everyone's on board with that. The other two down here is the Peridea Death Trooper and Enoch. Now, they said that they're working on the Peridea Death Trooper, and they said that Enoch's going to be the leader of the Imperial Remnants. At some point the other day, they actually confirmed that for the Ahsoka requirements, they're going to be continuing to give us Imperial Remnants. So you could say Morgan Elsbeth instead of Enoch, but we know that the Imperial Remnants are going to be requirements for Ahsoka. The new Imperial Remnants are going to be requirements for Ahsoka. And Enoch is going to be the leader. And Morgan Elsbeth, I think, is going to fall more into the Night Sister category. So with that knowledge, I'm fairly confident that Enoch is going to be the other requirement here. Now, that is not confirmed, but we know it's going to be at least dark side Imperial Remnant stuff required for Ahsoka. We know that they said that everything that is coming out is either going to be requirements for Ahsoka or requirements for Balin's Skull. So Elsbeth being a part of the Balin requirements makes sense, as well as the Great Mothers. That can be a Balin requirement. I think they can just go down that route of making other dark side characters required for Balin instead of Ahsoka. That's why we're going to be going down that rabbit hole. And I want to address this, that I know we all like Baylan, but he's not going to be light side, so just preparing you for that Baylan is not probably going to be a requirement for Ahsoka. I assume that Ahsoka or Baylan will be coming after Ahsoka. Now, we've gone over that. Let's take a look at the other two requirements. Now, I put in Fulcrum and Rex. Now, in the first batch of requirements, we had one Ahsoka, and I think we had one Ahsoka, one new unit, and 2 Clone Wars characters. So in the second batch, we'll have 2 new units, 1 Ahsoka, and a Clone Wars character. Just kind of a rough guess. I could be wrong. Obviously, this is me speculating what it's going to be. I want to say this right now as well. I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video. If I'm wrong about when these guys come out, maybe I got a few of these mixed around, but it is completely possible that even though I'm saying Rex could be in the second slot, a spoiler alert, we have Clone Wars characters in the 3rd and 4th slot, so they could just be moving those around too. So next time they drop the next batch of requirements, we got to keep an eye out and see what matches and what doesn't match with my future list here. But again, we have one Ahsoka, 2 new characters, and a Rex. They're not going to do Old Man Rex because Old Man Rex was just required for Leia, so everyone has him up right now. Plus, they're making him accelerated, and plus he's being one of those new characters you can get really easily before level 85, and all this other stuff that making Captain Rex accessible. So CT Rex here, I don't think is required for anything. Obviously, you want him for gas, but gas is a requirement in the first spot. So I think it makes sense for them to tie that together here. So I'm saying Rex and Fulcrum. And let's take a look at part 3. We got Plo Koon and the Phoenix. I think they'll probably just drop the Phoenix together, is my guess. I don't know why they wouldn't, because I mean, I feel like the Phoenix characters are going to be pretty easy to guess. I don't feel like there's much wiggle room here. I think Kanan doesn't make a lot of sense for a Ahsoka requirement. And Ezra, we're going to have a new Ezra as a conquest character, so I don't think they need to put the old Ezra as a requirement in here. We had Hera as an important part of the Ahsoka story, obviously Sabine as well, and Chopper's kind of that outlying rebel that was in the Ahsoka TV show that doesn't have an updated appearance, that's kind of with Ahsoka. And Zeb wasn't in Ahsoka at all for some reason, so we didn't need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about Zeb necessarily being required here. So that's the Phoenix. And Plo Koon, I think that's fairly obvious. I'm trying to put, Clone Wars character and new characters and trying to find that balance in between there. So Plo Koon being that Clone Wars character required for this 3rd batch kind of makes sense to me. And then part 4. So we have the Ahsoka ship, obviously. We have Barriss Offee. I don't know if I need to say anything for that. And we have Clone Wars Chewie. Now, I think there's going to be those bad requirements, and Clone Wars Chewie could be an option. But also, let's not forget that Cup is also an option. I don't think it's going to be both. I think it'll be Clone Wars Chewie or Cup, in my opinion. But I'm going to lock in Clone Wars Chewie. And BAM. I was originally not part of the BAM gang. I did not think that BAM was going to be required for Ahsoka. But now that we have a better idea of what the requirement's going to be with the light side, dark side, and the ships and all that stuff, what I had before didn't fit. So I had to come up with another light side character, and it was either BAM or who was the other one? It was either BAM or it was like Jedi Knight Anakin or Cup. I think those were my options. Those are the 3 options. And I don't think it'll be Jedi Knight Anakin because everyone kind of already has him relic up to a decent level. And I just do not have a lot of faith in Cup being added as a requirement. I wouldn't be surprised, but I would choose, I'd see more of a possibility with Clone Wars Chewie. Again, Clone Wars Chewie was in the Clone Wars episodes with Ahsoka where she was being hunted. So Clone Wars Chewie literally comes from an Ahsoka part of Star Wars. So makes sense, crappy character no one wants to get, requirement for something. I mean, it just kind of adds up in my opinion here. So that's kind of what I'm feeling for Ahsoka requirements. Now, there is the other option that they did say that all units from now until later are going to be released for Ahsoka or Ahsoka's squad or Baylan Skoll. I believe that's what it was. So Ahsoka is getting her own squad. It was confirmed in the newsletter, I'm pretty sure. If I go into here, you can see right here that Ahsoka's own new squad is getting added into the game. So we know for sure that there's going to be new marquees added for Ahsoka. Now, I didn't really take that account when you look at all my speculative requirements here of what I think will be coming to the game. So, completely possible that they add more marquees to her requirements. Now, I didn't really take that into account when making this because previously we usually get like 4 new characters per Galactic Legend. There's been a few exceptions with Jedi Master Kenobi, but overall 3 or 4 new characters. So the 4 new characters that were getting added, or 3 new characters I believe that I've accounted for here, is Night Trooper, Peridia Death Trooper, and Enoch. So it's completely possible that there's more characters being added for Ahsoka that'll be part of her requirements. And if that's the case, I've moved the kind of the Phoenix out of there. I kept Chopper, but I took out Old Sabine and Old Hera. I put in Clone Wars Chewie and Barriss in the 3rd batch, and then in the 4th batch, I've put Hu Yang, General Syndulla, and then a new Sabine. I think those will be 3 of the characters that'll be in her squad. Ahsoka will be the leader, and Ezra Conquest character is going to be the last spot. And if you don't get Ezra Conquest character, I believe that probably Kanan might fill that last spot on that team until you get Ezra. So I'm going to have to go all in on Ezra if I want to get Galactic Legend Ahsoka at some point. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, this is my speculation for what the new Ahsoka requirements are going to be. Again, I know we talked about this the other day, but I just wanted to kind of make my updated version of this since we have more information released now. And I want to hear what you guys think about it. What do you think about these requirements for Ahsoka Tano? Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think I'm right? Do you have some other ideas? What do you think about Cup being a requirement, Clone Wars Chewie? Let me know all of that down there. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.